Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It is Thursday, August the 2nd, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. How to make money trading part 4. Well, this all got started when somebody asked me if I had any videos that talks about making money trading. And I'm not sure if they were making a joke or if maybe this was the first time. Maybe that was the first video of mine they watched and they were being serious. So I decided to take them seriously. And so this week I've been talking about how to make money trading. Well, I realized when I woke up this morning that there's something that I have to explain to you that really has to hit home. And that is, trading isn't like most things in life. We talk about success breeds confidence and confidence breeds success. Well, for example, around the ranch, I can do a lot of things. I can build things, I can fix things, I know how to use the tools, I can cut trees down and, make a fire. But the thing about all those is some things I learned out of a book, some things somebody showed me how to do it. And in each of those instances, if I followed the instructions, I would be successful. Now, the first time you build something in wood shop, well, I don't even know if they still have wood shop in school. It might not be 100, dead on accurate square. And then as you, learn to use the saws and the measuring tools better and better, with practice, you get better and better. And so each time you do something, you gain a little more confidence and you have that success. But with trading, it's not the same. I can teach you any of my methods or teach you how to read a squiggly line indicator. But the one thing I can't guarantee is if that next trade's going to be a winner. And so what happens is with a lot of traders, they'll be trading and they might have, they'll have some wins, some losses, but it's those losses that mess with their head. So what they do is they go on that search for that, other indicator or a better method so they won't have any losses. And that's just not realistic. That's like playing baseball and never thinking you're ever going to make an error or you're ever going to strike out. It's just part of the game. And it's just that simple. It's like playing basketball and thinking you don't take a shot because you're afraid you're going to miss. But how many times did Michael Jordan miss that last shot? Do we remember the misses or do we remember the successes? You have to put it all in perspective. And that's what's missed. That's the other piece that's missing, is putting it in perspective. Because I know a lot of traders, some of you guys have never met you, but we've been online together for years. And some of you guys are still struggling. And some of you guys are still searching. But, really, you can stop all of that if you just realize that you're never going to know if the trade you enter is going to be a winner or loser before you enter it. You just don't. You can have all the confidence in the world, but it's not something you bet your life on, or your mom's life, or your kid's life. It's just, you just don't know. Anything could happen. So, because anything can happen, and you don't know if it's going to be a winner or a loser, that is why you employ your money and risk management. You see, in the beginning, I used to always say stop losses is for sissies because I was trading the buy zone. Didn't need it. To me, it was obvious. If you buy it and then it drops down into the sell zone where the method's telling you got to sell, so you have to exit that trade, and go the other way. But with some other methods, it's not so simple. Okay, here we go for the month. Oh, look at this. We're back into that candle body here. So we went up into the monthly wick zone and we exited. You know, once again, can I guarantee a short right there at the upper wick zone short line? Can I guarantee that's going to be a winner every time? No, I can't. You know, price could come down, hit it, and bounce and go the other way. So I can't guarantee that. But I know, based on statistics, about 7 or 8 times out of 10, I'm going to be able to make some pips. But you see, there's nothing to fool with here. There's nothing really more to add. I mean, about the only other thing that you could possibly add, and I'm going to just jump down here, you know, to the Einstein line. You know, you could actually add the spread dots, because, you know, based on what price is doing here, I should probably move this right here so they're next door to each other. So you can see here, when I turned on the computer, we got price, the ask drop below the peak of the bid. No, I'm sorry. That's the, drop below the peak of the bid right here. And you see here, and the ask came down, and then the bid got above the valley of the ask and came back up. So that's about the only thing that can improve your timing, you know. So if you know you want to, you know, enter a trade at a certain point, but you want to go short, but there's buying going on, you might just want to wait for that buying to stop. You don't have to, but you just might want to. So you can see here with the Einstein line, and for those of you just tuning in, I turn the computer on here, it plots this blue horizontal line, you know, nothing fancy. And then, what is it? 2.5 pips this way, 2.5 pips that way, which is roughly 2 times the spread here on the dollar yen, or on a lot of pairs, about 2 times the spread. It's like, I want to see if price can overcome that distance. And if it does, there's a good chance that it'll keep going. It's, consider it a mini buy zone in a way. But it's based on when I started. So it's relative to when I open the chart. Not to the open, not to anything else, just relative. So I'm saying, where's price? See, right now it's down. Everybody can see this yellow line's angling down. So we know price is down from when I started. Let's go back to what we usually go through the charts. Once again, all the gaps have filled for the week. And you can see here we broke out of that weekly, previous week's high, popped right through. Now we're in the upper wick zone. See here on the wick zone, upper wick zone, daily, we're in the lower. And you can see that right here, we're in that lower wick zone. Now, one of the things I think I may have talked about earlier, we talked about turn trades at the bottom, red, green. That's a turn trade at the top, green, red, and you see what happens. Sometimes you get the continuation. See here, there wasn't much of a continuation, but here, red, green, continuation. Nice. Here, green, red, and continuation. But once again, you know, what gives me the confidence to do that? It's not necessarily the success of the last trade. It's the success over many, many, many trades, and knowing statistically it should be a winner. Now, but for those starting out, you don't have that confidence. You don't have those successes. But so what I'm really telling you here is You can't look at what happens over the short term. You have to think about it long term. That's why I say you have to do 100 trades. And if you're not willing to risk, I don't know, a dime, a dollar a trade, then are you really in the right game? I mean, really. $100. You think you're going to lose 100 times in a row? You have to have a really bad system to lose 100 times in a row, right? Daily range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above. You can see the yen's an anemic 42. But really, 100 losses in a row, come on. Here we go on the buy zone. What do we have here? We had a trigger, possible, almost, not quite, almost a loss. You can see here you pick up the win. Okay, here, once again, you're red in the zone and you pick up a win. See right here, this is the open and that pivot never got hit, which we will see coming up shortly. Not much distance between the rat zones. You could trade it, but you're not going to look to make anything big. Just a handful of pips. There's just no zone right now. Well, there's no spread, no distance, only 41.8, 42 pips. Once again, looking at the pivot, see we had 4 red H4s in a row. Now we've got a green buzzard reversal type territory there. See, that pivot was missed. Hit that pivot yesterday. This pivot was taken out a couple of days ago. So remember all those missed pivots from back here? You had a missed pivot, and we took them all out. So once again, you see this chart, I bring it up. You can see how many times it failed versus how many times it didn't. And that gives me the confidence to fade the pivot point because I've had those successes. And, I told you guys this one yesterday, you traders yesterday. If you really want to keep it simple, you put daily chart, you trade with the daily candle color at the very first line. So here, right there, 70. I think we talked about that yesterday, 70. Actually, we said it was 80 here, but I remember saying 70 yesterday. So it opened just above 70 at 71. If you went short right there at the open, you'd be up about 26 pips. You had a potential to make almost 40. Okay? Simple. But do you really need the confidence? Yes, but you have to understand, I can't guarantee it. Nobody can. Because it's the market, it's trading. So to get that confidence, you have to do it over and over again. I told you about that book by, Annie Duke, Thinking in Bets. You're playing poker, you're making decisions, you don't have all the information. You don't know what the next card's going to be that turns up. You don't. You can't. So you have to make decisions without having all the information. And just running through yesterday's 5 lines, you just trade with the H1 candle color and the wick zone. With these big wicks, it's hard to get out of the zone, but you can see price still jumped out of the zone a couple of times. Holo setup, there's a nice reversal there. Inventory reduction, bar lines, right there was a nice short trigger. See that long, not much doing there. Daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, low lines. Once again, just more horizontal lines. We've already looked at that. So fellow traders, confidence breeds success. Success breeds confidence. But you're never going to know what that next trade's going to bring. Just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Let's drain the banks.